What is up? What is up, people? This is Kane Frost, and today's discussion is going to be: does looks really matter in 2021, or from any other year? Does that matter? The answer is yeah, they do. But there's a whole lot of other things that matter as well. And your clothes matter. Your hygiene matters, your swag matters, the way you carry a conversation matters. There's a whole lot of things that matters. Looks, attraction, it is great. That what gets you, physically attracted or whatever at the very beginning. And then you have sexual attraction. But yeah, they do matter. Does it the most important thing? Not really. It goes both ways. You don't want to chastise the way women see men, like, oh, you got to be on point. Looks matter. It goes the opposite way too. When a man sees a woman, the chick can be very hot, but what happens when she's dumb? Does those looks still matter? I've dated really, really hot chicks. And I remember one time I was selling a house, and I had this really, really hot girl. And, the realtor was asking me some basic questions, about the house, square footage, rooms, and all this stuff. I was preparing to sell the house. And I had this girl here with me, and she just starts rambling off some of the dumbest things. And the guy was just, the realtor guy was like looking at her and was just like, oh, really? Like he knew, that whatever she was putting into the conversation had nothing to do with the house or the dimensions or what are the selling points. And he was just looking at me, and it was like, that was my reflection of who I was dating. It was like, she's hot, but like, really? I mean, it's like, what do you, I could tell, he's like looking at me like, man, what do you guys talk about, when nobody's here? I hope the sex is great. When the sex ain't going to last, let's say it lasts an hour, you still got 23 hours of the day. What are you going to do the rest of that time, when she's with you? That's what I'm saying. It goes both ways. So, don't beat yourself up if you're a guy and you're sitting there saying, does looks really matter? It's the same way. It works both ways. It only matters to a point, You get to talking to the person. Let's say this girl likes you. She digs your everything. She digs your appearance. She digs your clothes. She digs your style. All this other stuff. And then, you start talking to her, and you're on some goofy stuff. At first, if you're really, really attractive to her, she'll bypass a lot of things, overlook a lot of things, maybe what you're saying. Sometimes they'll even laugh at some of your stupid jokes or whatever. But eventually, you can't hide who you are forever, and the gig will be up, and your true self will come out. And she's either going to like you or she's not. And that's just you, and you can work on that. Maybe you might think you're everything to a girl, and then you go and talk to a girl, and then she, dismisses you because she's not what you thought you was. And you can look at it like, oh, well, she's, she doesn't understand what she's missing out on and stuff. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. If you are that high class guy, if you're making a 6-figure income, you have credibility in the world and all this stuff. Yeah, of course, you can say all those things. She lost out on an important thing or whatever. But if you don't have those things, and you're just a regular guy, and you're making a year, even lower 50, even lower 30, saying that to yourself, you're really only fooling yourself, because, let's be honest here. If you're making 30K a year and you're getting turned down by women left and right, you can't just be telling yourself that it's their fault and it's their loss. You got to up your game. You got to up your lifestyle. You got to up your whole, your wardrobe, the look, everything. You can always make yourself look better. But like I said, looks is not everything. I used to have this one girlfriend, and she used to, and she was really, really hot. And she used to always tell me, when she didn't like our arguments or whatever, or she had her bad days, whatever, even after we broke up, we were still good friends. But even if she had bad days, she would always tell me, she'd always say, man, you are really, really cute and you're really hot to me. And she'll say, but it's when you open your mouth is when I just, she's like, I just fucking hate you, So that's what I'm saying. It's like, looks only matter to a point. It's not everything. So, I hope that you're out there. I hope you're not thinking that, because let's say you're a guy and you're a 5 or a 6, it's a end of all be all. And that's not the case. I mean, there's a lot of ugly people in this world that are famous that have pretty women, and I know that they're famous, and and that gives them a lot of stride, a lot of leadway that a chick can overlook because of his of his wealth and his society and life and his credibility and his social circle and all that stuff that she can overlook, and she's just gonna be with that guy because of all that other stuff and not because of his looks. That's one thing. But you can be, you're gonna have to make up for it. That's just the bottom line. You have to make up for your appearance. So you're gonna have to. There's ugly guys that know how to dress good. There's ugly guys that know how to, that are really comical and can make women laugh. There's ugly guys that know how to do tricks. It can make girls wow and this and that and wow, that's cool, and they find you interesting or whatever. You're gonna have to make up for it somehow, some way, somehow. You're gonna have to make up for it. You can't just be ugly and have a low income wage, and all that other stuff, and expect to get above average girl. That's just not going to happen, unless you're from a small town and that girl doesn't have many options. But again, today's age, there's dating apps and Tinder and all this other stuff that the girl, she don't even have to deal with guys in her hometown no more. She can match with a guy in a beach state like Florida or California or something, and she can, they'll fly her out and she can go hang out with them. She don't want to hang out with the dumb whatever jocks in her hometown anymore. Those times have changed. So yeah, you gotta, if you're not all there, either that or you're gonna have to consider dating someone within your rating. If you're a 5 as a guy and you're a 5, you don't, many girls don't look your way and all this other stuff. You're gonna have to find a girl that's just pretty much like you. Maybe she has some social anxiety. Maybe she's an introvert or awkward and all this stuff around people. And she's gonna have to find that one guy that's gonna have to come up and talk to her. Maybe all the other people, the other guys that have a lot of things going on, they don't want to put the time and effort to go talk to this girl. I've seen them. They're at my gym, and I've tried to talk to those kind of girls. They're cute, introverts and shy and all that stuff, but I don't have the time to do that kind of stuff, to break it all down when there's other girls out there that they're not like that. But if you're low, if you see yourself low and you don't want to up your game and you don't want to learn game and you don't want to improve your looks, improve your style, your swag, your confidence, but I'm just saying all this physical appearance stuff, you don't want to put no effort into that, especially the gym. You got to get in the gym. If you're scrawny, that ain't gonna help. You got to get some tone in your muscle. You got to do something. You got to do something to elevate your stuff, to make yourself look even better than what you are. Like I said, if you don't, then you're gonna have to just date your own style. Maybe the girls 4s and 5s, a little overweight, a little short, maybe a couple of kids, who knows, however old you are. But you're gonna have to find something within your reason. The bad thing about that is a lot of girls or women that are 5s and 4s, they actually think they're like 7 and 8s because the guys that are hitting on them are, let's say, the 7 and 8 guys, even some 9s, never a 10. Not a upper class guy who's making 6, not going to hit on a 5 or a 6 unless he's totally wasted, don't even know what's going on. But most of these other guys are drunk, and they give them the time of day, maybe because they're on the internet, and they're just like, oh, I'll hook up with you, but we're not going to be seen out in public and all that stuff. You can just come straight to my house, and they'll whatever, give them a little favor, and then get them on the way. But then that girl will think, oh, well, I can get this guy, this 7 or 8, because I hooked up with this guy, and then now she don't want to look at you. So girls can be delusional in that aspect, where they think that they're going to deserve a lot better, when then that's basic society, and that's the guy's fault with the dating apps and stuff like that. And these guys that go on dry spells, and they haven't had none in a while, and then they hit up the chick, somehow he hits up her, she hits up him, and then they get to talking, and then they make it happen. But that guy will never go out with her, he'll never catch feelings with her and all that stuff. But she will think now she's elevated her status, even though this girl doesn't work out, or doesn't eat right, or has kids, or marriage, divorces, 3-4 divorces, and all this other stuff. That's just, that's delusional stuff. And that girl's really not ever going to be happy in her life. She won't, until she's in her 40s, maybe even 50s. She'll be, oh, I need to now find a guy that's just going to be there. Nah, whatever, Girls are more into that way, but there's a lot of girls, that are realizing now that they need to date within their means if they want to be happy. But like I said, as a guy, it's girls can do it too. They can turn around their appearance as well. Girls, guys can't wear makeup, girls can. Girls can do all kinds of stuff that just they know how to work the camera and their looks and all this other stuff to make themselves look good. They got all that stuff, but guys really don't. But a guy, what he can do, if let's say he's a scrawny guy or overweight guy or whatever he is, if he's overweight, then he can lose the weight. If he's scrawny, then he can build muscle. All this stuff is going to take time. It's not an overnight process. This stuff, if you're going to be committed, if you're going to get into the game, which I am teaching you, you're going to have to change your life. Learning the game is a lifestyle change. It's not an overnight change. It's not a 1 month or 2 month or 3 month. It's years to learn. And when you learn this stuff, it's how you're going to be able to get what you want at the very end. It's like going through school and going through college. You're not going to go 1 year in college and come out and get the top position of the job that you wanted. You're going to have to go through those years of college. You're going to have to go through those years of internship. You're going to have to go through those years of being at the lower end and then working your way up. And then when you finally get there, after about 10, or maybe 5, 10, 15 years, then that's when you made it. It's the same thing with games. You got to learn it. You got to sit out there, get your body in the best shape. You got to eat the best foods. You got to, work and save money to get some good clothes, get a good, cologne and style and all that stuff. But then once you get there, you're actually going to have to go to a couple of dates, a couple of failures, but you're going to learn more about women, and you're going to learn more about yourself. And the more you learn of what you're really looking for, you may not know what you want when you first date a girl. Or you may think you know what you want, but then you're into this relationship. You better know how to get out of it, or tell this girl to keep it moving, because you're learning this stuff. And that's where a lot of people mess up, because a lot of guys, they're raised by moms, and moms are always pressuring them to get with the girl, or the girl's mom's always pressuring them to get with the guy. And then they end up settling for someone they're not even interested in. They think they're interested in at first, but then they get together, they get to know each other, and they're two opposite people. But they're like, we're married, or we have kids now, let's just be here for our kids. And then waste 18 years, or even like 16 years, the kids are adult or teenagers, and they bounce because, we're not happy together. They wasted almost 2 decades, almost 20 years or even longer, to realize that that they were just hanging in there for the kids. And that's just crazy. That's not where you want to be. That's where you fail in life. You know, don't ever get in that point. Game is everything. Me personally, never been married. Never. I don't see it as a piece of paper that's going to tell me that I'm legally bound to this one person. I'm like, hey, look, if we're together, we're together. We can live together. We can do all this stuff. The same thing as married couples. We don't have to have a piece of paper. That's just, to me, that's just what it is. Because then what, you can get a divorce, and some of these people have been 2-3 divorces and stuff like that. I know people when I was in IT, and actually when I had my own business, when I was doing in-house calls, there's people that I ran into that they were married and they had different rooms within a nice multi-million-dollar house. Wife lived downstairs, husband lived upstairs, no kids too. It's crazy. And you're like, does this guy snore or something? What the hell is going on? But you don't want to pry. And I knew friends growing up. They would have girlfriends or whatever. They were in a relationship, and they would buy a 2-bedroom house just so they can sleep in opposite rooms. I know a lot of people like that. They would be married and sleep in 2 different beds, and so much crazy stuff, man. That learn the game. Don't be going to school, and get out. Oh my God, I got with this one hot chick and blah blah blah. I'm gonna get with her. We're gonna have kids. The world is filled with so many women. Now there's some instances they do work out. That some things do work out where these people are happily married, and all this other stuff. But don't let them trick you into thinking that there's nothing wrong on the inside. All those marriages have things going on where they take breaks. The girl might, they might have a month break, even a couple of weeks, She goes out, sleep with some guys, the guy might think that she's not doing nothing, she's doing something, or vice versa. He's doing something. They get back together. Oh yeah, let's get back together, even though they just fooled around on the side. Don't think those marriages are just rock solid and there's nothing wrong. Social media only posts the, just fractions and tiny little highlights of your life on social media, what they want you to see. You post only the good things on social media. You don't post breakups and fighting and cops being called on. Nobody posts that stuff. Everybody wants you to have an illusion of how good their life is. And most women, they just want you to know, the attention girls, they just want you to know that, look how awesome my life is to every other girl. Look where I'm at. Look whatever vacation I'm on. Look what dress I'm buying. Look what dinner place I'm at. They're all like that, and they all want to show the highlights. But all those marriages, they're not all perfect. Oh yeah, we've been through so much. That's why we begin. Nah, that's not right. I mean, human nature, and especially as males, I mean, you can go into it, but when a guy has sperm, he produces so many sperms. A guy can sit there and impregnate 100 women a year, more. I mean, he could, come on, he can impregnate 3 women a day, multiply that times 365, and then you'll have your answer. A woman can only get pregnant once a year, 9-month delivery. So, we're all different in those ways, so anyways, getting off topic on all this stuff, but looks, and it's not all what you're thinking it is. Looks it's only on the surface. There's a lot of, I've hung out with guys that are GQ models, but just didn't have any kind of conversation at all. These guys would, they would bring in the women. When you go out with them, they would bring in the women because all the girls just wanted to see them or to hang out with them and stuff like that. But these guys are just they're really clueless, because when you get through life with your looks, everybody's so happy to help you, willing to do favors for you and all this stuff. Same goes for the hot chicks. Oh my God, my car's broke down and I don't know what's going on. Every guy wants to help her out, change her tire, change her oil, do everything for free. It's the same thing with guys. When they see hot guys, they want to do everything for the hot guys, and the guys lead these lives like that. And next thing you know, they're dumb because they really don't have to work for anything. It's the same thing with hot girls. They're really dumb. I mean, very, very, very rarely find them that they're hot and smart. Same with guys, man. They're just the cutest guys are usually the dumbest guys, and girls know it. And usually the girls that get with these hot guys, they're not too smart themselves. Either that or they're alpha women who like to take control and like to, and the guys don't mind. They're idiots, and they'll be like, yeah, you do whatever, I'll do whatever you want me to do as long as you bring in the money. Those guys become, housewives. They flip the roles where the wife is working and he's at the house taking care of the kids. Looks is not all that. It is not all that, but I'm just saying, as far as for, what do they call them, the chads and all that stuff, they, you might think that, oh my God, I don't have the looks and all that stuff. That's on the girl, because, and that's what's the bad thing about the dating apps, is that it is a lot about looks, but that's dating apps. They don't hear it. They used to have a dating app a long time where you used to be able to hear voices and stuff like that. That was, I never got on, but I remember seeing that. It's kind of cool. But, without them hearing your voice, and hearing who you're about, all that stuff's pretty much scratch level, superficial stuff that, it's like an illusion. It's like the girls with the camera angles, they get the right shots. I know people have been on dates where the girl looks totally hot in the pictures, and then you get there and it's just different. It's all different, I need a drink, man. Hold on. Good old White Russian. You can see that. Anyways, yeah, it's these, it's all just, it's just not right as far as for what the girls want on dating apps and stuff. So the real way you got to come at it, especially if you don't have looks, you got to do it in person. You got to cold approach in person, and all I'm saying, and the reason why I'm making this video, is that you don't have to be a good-looking guy to approach a woman and to have success. But what you do have to have is you do have to have some things that she is not excluding you off her list. Before you open your mouth, because a lot of girls can, oh, who is this guy, whatever, and then they continue talking to you, I know the whole thing about the alpha thing is like, whatever, shit's her loss. But you still gotta, you can't get, like a Zuckerberg with a big scruffy beard, and put him on some glasses. Like, you can't recognize him, and then he's gonna go up and approach anybody and expect him to get, any kind of girl, or just pick any billionaire or millionaire out there and expect them to not dress right and put on a little dorky clothes and haven't been working out or whatever and expect them to get women. Of course, you got these guys. Some of these guys ain't even good looking, but it's their confidence, it's their swag and all that stuff. So if you're coming at this girl, you don't have to have the looks, but you do have to have other things going for you. And the main thing is your body. So whatever you're doing, if you're too skinny, start bulking up, start looking into magazines or online on how to gain muscle, not fat, but muscle. Figure out how to eat more protein shakes. And a lot of that stuff is going to be eating more kind of carbs and sugars, more spaghettis, more, even like at some of the shake places. I can't think of them right now, but they have like the ice cream protein shakes. A lot of stuff is a lot of carbs and a lot of sugars that you're gonna have to do to build muscle. Because if you don't work out, that stuff just gets you fat. But if you're a scrawny guy and you wanted to gain muscle, a lot of that stuff you got to put on, and a lot of protein and stuff to be able to get muscle. You got to look into that. And if you're a big guy, then you're gonna have to start learning how to lose weight and get on the keto diets, and start getting on juice diets and stuff to lose the weight. And this does, like I said, it's a progress. It ain't just overnight. You're looking 6 months before you see 3 months really before you start seeing some good development of what you're doing. But you got to stick to this stuff. When you stick to this stuff, you be learning game. You're learning. You're getting your body in shape at the same time. You know, just focusing on that. I wouldn't be even trying to be focused on the women right now. Focusing on that. Get determined, you know, see an outcome, and then once you do 3 months, oh, I'm losing weight, you know, I already lost 10 pounds or whatever, you know, or you're gaining 2 or 3 pounds in muscle, you know, and then, you know, by 6 months later, let's say you gain 8 pounds, 6 to 8 pounds in muscle, that's awesome, you know, or you lost about 15, 20 pounds, that's awesome too, you know. Man, I was just talking to a guy today, he lost like 60 or 70 pounds in just a couple months, whatever, 3-4 months. So yeah, you got to do that stuff, you know. You can't just be sitting around the house and just eating ice cream, you know, and popcorn and cupcakes and pies and stuff like that, and thinking about why, you know, you're not getting the women you want, or looking at dating sites and wondering why you're not. You got to change. You got to change, and it's not that you got to be this GQ guy. You don't have to be in slim shape. Muscles is 3% body fat, whatever. You don't have to be that bad, but you do have to be in somewhat the ballpark area. And so you got to look at yourself and you know, give yourself a rating. If you don't know that, then hire or go to a gym and talk to a physical trainer and talk to a guy. Don't talk to a girl. Talk to a girl's gonna just want to boost your confidence, because you're working with them. But just talk to a guy and say, hey, you know, I want to get to this, you know, lose weight or gain muscle, and say, you know, where do you think I'm at right now? You know, on my body is on a 1 to 10 scale, and they'll be honest with you. And you say, I want to get to a 9 or whatever, 8 or 9. Then they're gonna help you. You got to get to all that program. So if you're already smart and you got a lot of good things going on, that's awesome, because that's going to only help you out on learning game and having good conversation. You know, if that's something that you got to learn too, then that's going to be another learning curve, you know. But for right now, I would say, you know, get your body in shape, you know, put your money aside, you know, and kind of save it. I wouldn't even try to be going on dates or anything like that. I would just be saving it up. And get you some better, you know, look around, shop or whatever, look online and see what kind of clothes you like, get some better clothes, get some cologne, you know, but then, you know, be working, that's off to the side, and go to work, whatever, after you get off work, go to the gym, you know, be eating right throughout the whole day of work, and eventually you're going to get to a place where you're going to feel better and you're going to be more confident within yourself, because you see this drastic change in your life. And while you're learning game, you're going to want to put those tools to the test that you've learned. And then that's when it all starts playing out. You know, there's some guys that have learned game, you know, just naturally, since they were like kids, you know, 7, 8, 9, learning it. You know, by the time they're teenagers, they got all these women adoring them because they just know how to talk to women, you know. And these guys are scrawny or they're overweight. And you're wondering, man, how does that guy do it? He's just a natural at it, you know. You just got to give him credit, you know. Not everybody's like that, just like an athlete. Not everybody's an athlete, you know. They got gifts. Look at Tiger Woods, you know, he's not some built guy. He's an athlete. You know, NASCAR drivers, these guys are all athletes, you know. You know, so I'm just saying is that not everybody can be that. They got gifts, and they use them to their best capabilities, and they're able to do what they do. So don't look at somebody and say, oh my God, how is he so, you know, he's not working on doing something like that, and how is he? No, forget about that. They're just doing what they do because they're good at it. You got to learn. And the only way to learn is to start putting in the work. All right, man. So I'm going to leave you at that. All right. So it's almost 30 minutes anyways. So anyways, yeah, if you, you know, if you like this video, man, you know, please click the like button and also subscribe to my channel. I will be putting out more and more content, and my podcast is coming out soon. I also have my book coming out. it's that's gonna be really, really good. Be the fire in her eyes. And yeah, man, I also do a side business too. I also, do the whole flipping cars on the side. And I got another book out right now. It's called Chill, Relax, and Car Flip. I don't have a copy of it right now, but maybe next video I'll show it. But yeah, anyways, man, get on that, and let's get you in check, man. That way you can start feeling good about yourself and just not be in this, C19. Everybody's indoors and trapped. Let's just first things first. If anything, get out and start walking. Wherever you're at, go for a couple blocks starting off, maybe then pick it up half a mile, quarter mile, half a mile, couple of miles, 2-3 miles. Try to do the end thing would be nice, be 5 miles a day. That'd be great if you could do 5 miles a day and walk it. You don't do it every single day. Do three times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you got a gym membership, which mine is only like $70 or $80 a year. And so I mean, that's awesome, man. You don't have to go to the gym that much too. If anything, it's best to go 3 days a week, and the more the better. If you can go 4 or 5 days, that's awesome. But for right now, if you don't want to get burned out, just do 3 days a week. Do all those Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and do walking on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Just fill in the gaps so you're still doing 5 days a week and just 3 days at the gym. All right, man. So yeah, that's about it for this video. And until then, man, rock on and peace.